Yo. What's up, everybody?
What's going on? We in here.
Yeah.
What's happening? Back for another Thriller Thursday.
Yes, sir. The real podcast head. Welcome.
Y'all could have been anywhere else in the world, but y'all chose to be with us tonight.
Yeah. What up, New York Rican 2727? Appreciate you chiming in.
What up? We're gonna have a wonderful show.
As always.
Welcome. This is your boy, Jody, the one and only, the real podcast head. Bang, 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 baby.
Roast. Yeah.
Yep. And I'm the one and only B Clan. We getting it in. Thursday nights. What? Thriller Thursday night.
And that's the end. Solo swing at the end, actually. What's good? Hey, look. It's Thriller Thursday. I already know what time it is. Hey, look. I don't know where you at. If you cold right now, get yourself a blanket, get yourself some coffee, get yourself some hot chocolate. Chill out, sit down, relax, chillax. Hang out with the fellas today because we about to crank it up just a notch. You know what I mean? Before the game. Is there a game tonight?
Yeah.
Who's playing tonight?
Yeah. 8:15.
Somebody.
Arizona Cardinals and the New Orleans Saints.
Oh yeah.
And if y'all don't know, tonight we are live on IG and we live on our YouTube page. So, you know what I'm saying? Pick your platform. You get a much better experience over on YouTube with the camera switching and all that. We get to show y'all some things. So, but it's up to you.
And also, if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube page, please do so. Subscribe and like.
Yeah.
So what's up, fellas? What's going on, man? What's been popping, bro?
Life, man.
Life,
man.
All right, that's what's up, man. What's up?
Looking forward to the weekend, man.
Always.
What you got going on the weekend?
I mean, I ain't really doing much, man. You know me, I'm refereeing, so I got a few games on Saturday. But other than that, I'm just gonna lay back with the fam and enjoy life. How about you?
Yeah.
Well, my son had a game yesterday, so he actually did good. He did real good. I was proud of that little blickety blick. I ain't gonna say what I want to say.
Son of a
yeah, he did good though. He did good. You know, my father actually came out to the game, and my father put on the sidelines. I was like, "Look, you can't be up here. Like they already allowed me up here. They can't have both of us up here because he over there go Brad." I'm like, "Look, I'm gonna need you to go back because they gonna kick us off the field. They gonna kick us off the high school field messing with this dude." But yeah, this weekend I don't know, man. I don't know what I got playing. I don't know. But it was. You know,
yeah.
Halloween coming up, so I don't know. Let me ask you this: do y'all do anything special on Halloween days, or for the like around this time?
Wifey, she does her thing. You know what I'm saying? She decorates. She kind of goes all out for the kids, and I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Does the stuff around the house. We doing some things now, like every Friday is movie Friday. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's what's up. That's important too.
And we just sit down and we pick a movie, and she go to Walmart or something like that and go get some candy, decorate. You know what I'm saying? So it's cool. But yeah, Halloween is gonna do some stuff.
What about you, B?
Nah, I don't celebrate it.
I mean, you don't got
no
celebrate.
candy or nothing.
I mean, you don't got to celebrate it, but
I eat
He said
candy
I
all
was
the
celebrating.
time, but no,
His
I don't
exterior
celebrate.
lights
no candy
off.
at all, right?
I know, Ray. Brian's house is the only house with no lights,
on.
no nothing.
Ain't no lights on, ain't
Eggs.
nothing on.
Eggs and toilet paper.
It's funny, I grew up, you know what I'm saying, and I did it periodically, you know what I'm saying, but as I got older, just me, my personal self, you know, I felt like it's celebrating evil spirits and stuff like that, and I'm just not really wanting to do it. So I mean,
I get it.
That's just my personal
Yeah, I mean,
But as adults though, right?
Go ahead.
To each his own. You know what I'm saying? Because I grew up the same way.
We all did. Black folks.
And but like, you know what I'm saying, for the kids, right? Like if you got kids around that age, you know what I'm saying, and can we not separate the two? You know what I'm saying?
You can to a degree, and I didn't take it away from my kids. Like my brother did it, so you know what I'm saying. If the kids want to go, I'd be like, well, you can go with your uncle. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to take you.
Right.
My wife just chose that that's something that we wasn't going to do.
Right.
So, yeah.
I was going to say, when we was growing up, we used to go as for Hallelujah and be like church characters, Christian. So we was going to Samson and angels and stuff. But what's crazy is that we had to make our costumes. So I had like muscles made out of pillows and stuff. Who are you supposed to be? And your arm, look, my muscles going down to my stomach. You turned to Samson to Eli real quick.
Well, y'all know I'm a big kid. I go all the way in. My out costume. I'm actually, you know what's so funny? I was just looking at. I be trying to. I really like going to like costume galas. You know what I'm saying? When people host like costume parties and stuff like that. I enjoy stuff like that. Now, and I ain't really into the spirits and all that either. But when it comes to the fun about it, like having like dressing up and going out to gatherings and stuff like that, I'm all for it. And I hand out candy and stuff like that. But like I said, I separate the two. Like you said, bros, I kind of try to separate the two, but I just try to look at it as having fun. You know what I mean?
We used to, the kids and us, we would always go to either Hershey Park or Kings Dominion. Like that was the most, like every year we do it. And Hershey Park and Kings Dominion is like fire. Like the hookups, the food, like they come in with the, all the costumes and stuff. It's kind of dope. I mean, but I'm like Brian, I think we don't go for that stuff. We just go because it's like family time, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, speaking of that, y'all heard Kings Dominion about to be open all year round.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I don't know how that's gonna go.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna be out there in the cold.
Yeah.
Well, you know what's crazy? With that being said, it's a lot of high school kids working there. So that means you get so that means they're not checking sodas. So go ahead and give me that soda real quick. Go ahead, I don't even care.
Yeah.
There's too many people out here.
Yeah.
Have y'all went to any amusement parks this year?
Man, I went to what's the jump? Busch Gardens for the first time.
For real?
I lived up here for a minute.
Exactly right.
And this is the first time I went to Busch Gardens, and my experience sucked because I went down there, I took the family down there, and I'm trying to remember when. It wasn't even like, I don't even want to remember exactly when we went, but it wasn't like a weekend that people should have been at Busch Gardens.
Where's everybody at?
Yeah, but that jump was packed, man. The lines was long. Yeah, we didn't get on no rides, bro, the whole time. We actually, no, I take it back. We got on like one. It was the jump where you get on the little joint that like the zip line joint that drives real slow around the joint. Yeah. Oh my gosh, man.
That's probably scary.
But wait a minute, how long was you there for?
Bro, like 2 hours. Because we had the girls with us too. You know what I'm saying? So it was tough. Like wifey, she stayed with the girls. I took little man, try to get him on the ride. And then once we was about to get on the ride, and then something happened. They had to do some maintenance or something. So we stayed in the line for forever. Then it was maintenance. And I'm like, man, I'm not about to stay in this line no more. Because we weren't even at the front no more. So
that's the first place I ever got a turkey leg at. You ever had them turkey legs?
That was the highlight of the park.
The turkey legs is fire.
Leg, yeah,
the joints is banging.
Yeah.
You gonna? Hey, speaking of that, it's a great segue. My boy B Glenn got a smoker. You gonna be doing any turkey legs on that joint?
I don't know. I might gotta try it out, man.
What you mean?
I might gotta try it out.
Look, hold on. How you gonna say you might have to try it out when you got a smoker, nigga? You got to do everything with it. You can't just say I might. You gotta. I mean, you gotta go. You gotta work that thing, nigga.
I gotta perfect the temperatures and how things regulate on that thing.
Just put the fire in there. Just put the fire and let it cook.
You can't just throw it in there and just let it do what it do. You got to monitor it. You got to, you know what I'm saying?
You sound like a smoker specialist. You gotta let the charcoal and the what hold on. First of all, for your joint, you got to do what? Wood?
Yes, wood pellets.
Yeah, man.
You got to get the apple cider whoops. You gotta let it like soak in apple cider or something like that. I heard.
No, they already got them. I got the competition blend, which has like a bunch of different seasons.
Told you. Look, you ain't gotta do all that. I got this down. Like, okay, I hear you over there. We're gonna take this food sooner or later.
I'm gonna bring
rotisserie wings over here. Something.
We're gonna have to do something soon. So what's up on the sports tip, bros? What's going on? Any fights this weekend? Any special games or something?
Yeah, man. We got some fights this weekend, man. Let me I got the Jones. So this more UFC weekend. I don't think we got any boxing this weekend, but hold on one second. Yeah, so this UFC 280.
No big names or any big names out there this weekend?
I mean, it's UFC, so yeah. I mean, if you follow UFC,
yeah,
everybody on the card essentially got a big name to them. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, hold on, let me share the screen with you. So if y'all on YouTube right now, you can see the screen sharing and all that stuff that we trying to do to enhance the overall everything. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, but yeah, so this weekend UFC 280, the main card features 2 title bouts, and the third one is not the one leading up. So in the bantamweight division, we got Peter Yan versus Sugar Sean O'Malley. Peter Yan 16-3-0. Sean O'Malley's 15-1-0 with one no contest. And you got bantamweight division, Aljamain Sterling 21-3-0 versus TJ Dillashaw 18-4-0. So that's for a belt.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good fight.
Strap. Yeah. Dillashaw looking good, man. He like, you know what I'm saying, real fit, but we're gonna see what's up. Then you got the lightweight main event, Charles Do Bronx Oliveira at 33-8-0 with one no contest, and Islam Makhachev at 22-1-0. So that one right there. I mean, they got a stacked card, to be honest, because it should be fireworks in all 3 of them joints. But you know,
okay.
So yeah.
Well, guess it's about that time.
About that time, baby.
We might as well jump into this.
Jump right into it.
So you on a relationship?
You mind jump into it?
Hold on. I got one.
Music.
Oh, you want to do that one next?
You got one? You said you got one?
Go ahead.
You got one? Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah.
All right, hold on.
Ladies and gentlemen.
You want me to stop the music?
No, you good. That's right. Yeah. Edit this jump so y'all got the. Again, appreciate everybody jumping in this.
Why did you look like your son when I just look at your face? I just see your son.
All right, check it. So this first topic, before we jump into the deep relationship topics that we always get into,
the deep abyss.
This first one is, because we on PodcastHead, man, we want to talk about everything. We might not be able to cover everything in every episode, you know what I'm saying, but we're trying to broaden the spectrum. So this first one that I found right here, the title of this article is slavery is on the ballot for voters in 5 U.S. states. All right, so I'm gonna breeze through this real quick, but try to hit these high points. So Nashville, Tennessee, more than 150 years after slaves were freed in the U.S., voters in 5 states will soon decide whether to close loopholes that led to the proliferation of a different form of slavery, forced labor by people convicted of certain crimes. It says none of the proposals would force immediate changes inside the state's prisons, though they could lead to legal challenges related to how they use prison labor, a lasting imprint of slavery's legacy on the entire United States. And it says the effort is part of a national push to amend the 13th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution that banned enslavement or involuntary servitude except as a form of criminal punishment. That exception has long permitted the exploitation of labor by convicted felons. I'm gonna stop right there because it's got a lot more into the article. I mean, what do y'all think about that, man? I mean, because this kind of like piggybacks off of the one conversation we had in one of our episodes about the judicial system and just how the injustice of the judicial system. Sounds like oxymoron.
Do we really feel like that's injustice? Because what are we saying when they say work, when you commit a crime and you work for what? I mean, because they don't work for free. I mean, they're not working for nothing. So what I'm trying to figure out, what are they trying to? Well, they trying to have them work for what? So what is the alternative? Because the thing about it is, I get it. I mean, a lot of people quick to say, this is wrong, and this is wrong, or they shouldn't be this, or it shouldn't be this, and it shouldn't be that. Then give me an alternative. What should it be? Okay, because I mean, y'all know I come from. My background is criminal justice, so it's like, okay, I can tell you right now, like in the prison system, a kitchen worker get paid like 35 cents an hour, right? So what if you don't want him to get paid 35 cents an hour? What is the alternative?
I think so. A part of it is the forced labor, right? Like the fact that they have to do that when they're in there, right?
But they don't have to. I mean, you can say, okay, let me say this. It's not like they don't have to, but it's almost it's like a thin line, because if you don't, it's almost like if you don't, that means you're not going with the program, and they feel like, because each offender get assessed each year, so then they could feel like, well, you're not going along. You go see the judge again, they say, okay, he refusing to work, and it's not that he's not refusing to work. It's like it's a fine line. Did that make? Because that could be part of your programming. Did that make sense? It could be. Let's say if you a drug dealer and you get caught and you get incarcerated, and then you just say, okay, I ain't doing nothing. I'm just going, my family, because it is a fine line. Because if you think about it, let's say your family putting money on your books, you don't need to work. So why should I get punished? You know what I mean? Because my family putting money on my books. But it's a fine line. That's what I'm saying. It's really, I don't think it's forced. I think it's almost where as though, okay, if your family if you want commissary, if you want to not eat state food or federal food or whatever it is that's lower. I mean, if you want Pepsi, drink Pepsi instead of juice or whatever it may be, because you got to buy Pepsi. You can't just, then you have to get a 35 cent an hour job or a 27 cent an hour job. Yeah, you get what I'm saying? Am I making sense right now? Or y'all understand where I'm coming from? So it's almost like if you come from a family that have nothing, that means you ultimately have to get something. You would say, all right, well, let me go work in this kitchen or work at this, library, because I want some Pepsi, or I want some, I don't want to just drink juice all day.
But you think about it, right? Like, I think it's like out in Idaho or wherever they grow potatoes and stuff at, right? So they have prisons out there that they farming these joints, and somebody's making money off of them farming these potatoes. Is that not is that not like a sign of slavery? Like blacks had to pick cotton,
and to add to that, like just circling back to what we said in the last one, when you have, like, all these states have different penalties for the same crime, right? You can go to one state and be penalized lightly. You go to another state and be penalized crazy, right? So you already that's already a negative right there. So now if you in the system and for an ounce of weed or whatever, but you doing like 2 years or something just for that, right? And they're getting free labor off of you, right? It's an incentive for them to keep you in the system, because they can get the free labor off of you going out there working the potatoes, right? Making somebody else rich.
But
right?
but then on the flip side of that, though, who you think paying for them to be incarcerated? We are. Yeah, we are. Yeah. So that's why I say it's a flip side to that. You know what I mean? But essentially the issue. Okay, this is from what I've seen, it's almost like, yeah, this is one country, but we got 50 states that you could say, okay, it's almost like we got 50 different countries because every state has a different, has their own regulations and procedures and rules. And it just depends on where you get caught up at. But I feel like at the same time, like it's the taxpayers who still pay for you to be incarcerated. So that's the way they look at it. I mean, let's keep it real. Somebody going to make money somewhere, one way or another. I mean, we could say, oh, it's injustice. Somebody's going to make money somewhere, one way or another, whether we like it or not. Somewhere, somebody else was going to make money. Like I tell people all the time, they don't know that the inmates in Virginia, make all the milk that kids drink at school. They make the desk they sit at. They make the license plates. They make everything like that. And yes, it's for little or nothing, 35 cents. But then what is the alternative though? Like, and that's the thing what people don't bring. People will say, oh, this is slavery. This is this. Okay, but what is the alternative? So give an alternative. What else can be done then? Because the same people that you saying are doing wrong, you asking them to do something different. This is all they know that they are doing it. You get what I'm saying?
Create the job, create the role for that person.
What type of job? So, well, let me throw something at you. So you will be. What do you mean outside? What do you mean? Because they got programs in Virginia, like CDL trade stuff like that.
Well, I'm like, for instance, I'm speaking to in Virginia. You said they make the milk and everything.
They make everything.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So why is that not more so a job or a role outside that can be, that we're paying someone
because they're an offender? Oh, you talking about like an outside person?
Yeah. Like why is the milk coming from there versus?
So what you saying? So essentially you saying that offenders shouldn't be making that stuff. They should just be sitting in a cell.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm answering the question of what's the alternative to paying them to 35 cents or whatever they get paid to do it, right?
Yeah.
You pay someone more or legitimate dollars to make it, right? They don't have to do it. Is what I'm saying.
So now the offender don't have a job to get Pepsi, to get stuff commissary that they don't got from their people. They don't have family members that can actually put money on their books. So then how else they supposed to get?
I mean, there's
because think about it like this. We know on the streets, right? If I don't have and you have, what you think I'm gonna do to you?
Right. No, of course.
Exactly. So it'd be the same thing in the prison system. So if there is no jobs, right? So why not, if they have little legitimate jobs, even though they making kibbles and bits, they can at least get the commissary or get the Pepsi or Coke or Sprite that they could drink that the other person has.
So let me ask you this, right? The prison system is essentially, it's technically supposed to be a correctional facility, correct? Okay. So what exactly are they correcting?
That's a question. They're not, because what happens is it's almost Lord, you're gonna give me.
But that's one.
I'm throwing it out here right now. My personal opinion. This is just me. Okay, it's really hard. That's a hard question, because what's essentially is, let's say you get locked up. It's different if you get locked up as a 18, 19-year-old compared to getting locked up as a 40-year-old, right? Because as that 40-year-old, there is no, for my opinion, there is no correcting, because you already have made up in your mind what you want, how you want it. Only person can change is you. I can't force that.
I don't agree with that.
Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. As a 40-year-old, you come into the correctional institution. I can't make you change. You can make you change. Though.
I think everybody is capable of change.
No. Everybody is capable of changing, but I can't make you change. Do you hear what I'm saying? Everybody's capable of changing. That's not what I'm saying. But I can't do it. Compared to if you was a young 18-year-old pup, you come in, by me being a leader, by me being what I am, can make you, can guide you into changing, can guide you a different environment. But a 40-year-old or 50-year-old grown man that come in, they already have lived their life. So I can, exactly. So basically, I can't guide you. You can only
But okay, so let me ask you this. I'm gonna pause and I'm gonna get to one of these comments in there. So why I say I don't necessarily agree with that is because, and I feel like everybody's capable of change and capable of being influenced to change at any time, right? Like you can get a man that's in his 40s or whatever who can be around. They're in this situation. They're around other people, right? It could be another person that's in there is 40 or older than this person, right? That could be telling this guy that's in there that's 40, and he could be teaching him things, you know, about whatever his situation was or why he's in there, and you know that's a position of where that person, regardless of age, can be changed. I think this is my personal opinion. I think that if we, in saying that they can't change at that age, essentially kind of writes them off. You know what I'm saying? Like, because now they're going into they're in this what's supposed to be a correctional facility, right? So if we're out here, if we writing them off that they can't change, right? Then that's essentially what the people who have control to let them out is essentially feeling the same way. You feel what I'm saying?
But we don't write them off. So what you do is you approach it in a different way, a different dynamic.
Okay.
I'm going to approach you differently as a 40-year-old than I will approach an 18-year-old.
But what's the approach?
The approach for an 18-year-old will be, okay, let's do school, let's do this, let's try to guide you, let's try to get you in the right direction. A 40-year-old, let's get a trade, let's get a programming, let's get some schooling. It'll be the same, but it's a different approach. Because most time a 40-year-old, think about it, a 40-year-old most time already got kids, already got a family, already got bills, already got this. An 18-year-old, they don't have any of that. Most time, generally speaking, an 18-year-old don't have that. So basically, an 18-year-old is easier to guide. I can say go to school. I can say lead you in the right path. I can say this, and they will take heed to listen because they haven't lived life yet. But a 40-year-old is more difficult to infiltrate because they're not open, because they already have been set in their ways. Not saying they can't change. I'm not saying that, but the approach is totally different. It's like, okay, let's get a trade. An 18-year-old, I wouldn't say, let's just go get a trade. I will preach, let's do school. Do you know what I'm saying? We don't.
But why? What if that 40-year-old man that's in there has been in there since he was 18? Right?
Because
and what if he didn't have the proper education, right?
Now, if he been in there since 18, then that's a whole different approach. Because I can tell you right now, a person. Okay, let's. I know we stand on this topic way, you know, but let's take it in context here. Let's take it in context. So we have a person that just get locked up at 18 and now he's 40, been incarcerated for 22 years. Guess what the difference is from him just getting locked up with a 40-year-old person? Both of y'all 40, you and B are 40, and he just got locked up. You've been locked up for 22 years. Guess what my problem is? Guess what the issue is now? Right. Both of y'all, even though y'all the same age, the therapeutic and the programming is totally different. We on two different sides of the spectrum, because think about it like this. Technology is really brand new, been on out for 20 years. You don't know nothing about technology. He knows everything about it. He knows what an iPad is, an iPhone is. He knows what he knows everything about technology. You know nothing. Right. So the approach is totally different from you to him. I can go to him about computers. I can't go to you about computers. Right. I can go to him about schooling and online classes and this and that. I can't go to you about that because you don't even know nothing about computers.
Right. But that's but we're talking about like the education side of
what I'm talking about is the programming side of it. What I'm trying to tell you is it's the programming side. It's the difference of, and now, but this is the problem. That is the problem. I'm not saying you're wrong. That is the problem, because you will have 1,200 guys and you see just y'all two is the difference. So guess if we have 1,200 guys, what the problem is? It's a bigger issue than what people realize. It's so much of a bigger issue than people realize. And I just gave you two different, just y'all two, just different. And so think about every other platform. Think about his crime compared to your crime. Think about what his environment is compared to your environment. Right. So assessing each person is on a whole different. It's so difficult, man. His mental capacity compared to your mental capacity. It's so different. It's so many variables that's involved.
It's a lot of narratives.
Yeah, and it's tough. It's really tough. That's why I tell you, don't get locked up.
Let me jump into the comments real quick. 20J20 said prisons are big business, and they did this when slavery ended. Facts. change begins within. There's another comment from 20J20. Change begins within, and the only person that can change someone is themselves.
Okay. All right.
I mean, that's just. I mean, you only get changed if you want, but it is big. I mean, it's hard because I can tell y'all one thing, man. Even though I majored in criminal justice, and the thing about it is, it's tough because you go into the mindset of I want change. You're trying to change, but man, it's bigger. When you dealing with and you in a people business and you dealing with people, man, I swear everyone is so much on different spectrums.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell you right now, no one's immune to the trials and tribulations of life. You got all walk, doctors, lawyers, it don't matter what status you on.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many different variables when it comes to assessing somebody's situation and their mental capacity. Everyone is different.
And that's what I was saying though, is that that's where when we talk about change, that's where the money should go. not in paying them, cheap labor, to make license plates or make milk for thousands and millions of kids. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It needs to be in the key component of where they are, which is the correction. What are you doing to help correct this person? What are you doing to sit and communicate with this person to figure out how did they get to where they are, and figure out how you can assist you in helping them make the conscious decision to change themselves.
Let's keep this in realistic standpoint. Now, and I know B, I'm sorry. I know B, we get, let's keep this in realistic standpoint. How many guys you think is incarcerated? Let's go with Virginia. How many guys you think is incarcerated in Virginia?
I don't know, bro.
There's almost 35,000 guys. 35,000, right? All right. Let's say this. You're talking about if you need to assess each person needs to be assessed individually, correct? Adequate time to be assessed individually, mentally, right? For their mental capacity. You just don't got the manpower for that. State don't got more, so it's almost like a quick thing. It's almost like speed dating.
They can have it though, right?
It's almost like speed dating. It's almost
paying
like
for it, right?
Yeah,
we're paying for it, right? So it's money management.
You looking at, but you're looking at a whole bunch of guys incarcerated with. I mean, think about that. 100,000. We talking about.
You remember the article?
100,000 guys in one state, and you think the state can address every 100,000 guys?
I'll tell you why.
Mental capacity, and they have the resources for that, the money for that.
You want me to tell you why?
Why?
The same article that we brought up a few episodes ago, where there was the two judges that got caught for purposely giving worse time for people with low end charges. You remember that article?
Yeah.
And now they supposedly got to pay back millions.
But what that got to do with what I'm saying to you is what that got to do with
they got money
assessing. Yeah, that's not saying what I'm saying. I'm not saying they don't have money. How much time do you think it will take to assess 100,000 guys on their mental capacity?
I don't know.
What's the resources? What's the manpower that it would take? That's what I'm saying. And that's my whole point. So basically, it's almost like that's like us four is going to a therapist, right? That therapist only going to probably give us all the same answers and the same thing because they don't have time to assess us all at the same time.
Right. So
maybe it was too many.
With that being said,
okay, go ahead.
I think we need to.
Yeah. We could. This could be a whole. And then y'all know I'm a little. I'm on a little left side edge. Y'all know how I am.
So we're gonna run into the next topic. And by all means, please comment. All that good stuff. We greatly appreciate those things.
They be getting on me too. I kind of go in on these topics because they can't do that to me. They know how I am. They can't do this to me.
Y'all ready? Y'all ready to go into the next one?
Yeah, let's go into these topics.
All right. So the next one comes to us from Stacey Ann at the Newsbreak contributor. One of my favorite little apps that I read. Says opinion: relationship problems you should address sooner rather than later. It says small problems in relationships are often the ones that we overlook or ignore when they are really the ones that we should be addressing right away. After all, big problems don't usually start out as big problems. They start with a little annoyances and moments that we tuck away for a fight later on. I remember when I was younger that the piece of relationship advice I was always given was to pick your battles. I agree that you shouldn't be complaining about every single thing that your partner does. However, when we hold in our feelings and let them build up, it usually results in an explosion of emotions. And it says, here are 4 seemingly small problems that you should address in your relationships. So these 4 problems that they're stating are, number 1, you aren't on the same page when it comes to your future. Number 2, this is no balance when it comes to the household. Number 3, neither of you wants to bring up a lack of intimacy. Number 4, you get too comfortable with each other.
Everything you said, you know what it sounds like? Lack of communication. Everything you just said. But it happens. Let me let y'all go because y'all know I can go. Go ahead. What you got? I can go on this forever, man.
Ahead,
what you got, Solo?
Solo started off.
Yeah, because I can go in.
Give me them other those
Yeah,
4 again.
So the 4. So it says relationship problems you should address sooner rather than later. Correct. We go to you aren't on the same page when it comes to your future. This is no balance there's no balance when it comes to the household. You get too comfortable with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Neither of you wants to bring up a lack of intimacy.
Okay.
But
which
then,
which one we touching
but
on
then,
first?
no, it's all of it. I mean, that's what it's saying. What
these are problems you should address sooner
that you should address sooner
right, but
rather
we can
than
unpack.
later.
I feel like we can unpack each one of those though.
All right, so let's start with the first one then. You aren't on the same page when it comes to your future. What you got, Solo? What you think about that? Is that something you feel like needs to be addressed like sooner rather than later? I mean, you start in a relationship, once again, like Rome said, it's all narrows down to communication, but is this something that you would,
I mean, if that's the case, if you talking about future, you wasn't looking at the future from the beginning. If that's something that you ain't talk about in the beginning, then you know what I'm saying, like that's something that should be addressed in the very beginning.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, think about it.
I mean, you think about future. So in here, they give you a couple different things. It says, kids.
Well, this is the thing. This is what I want to say on that piece. Some women, like they look for the unicorn, which means that they're looking for a guy with no kids. You know what I'm saying? And they automatically think if I find a guy with no kids, he got everything going for him or whatever like that. But they don't realize a lot of the guys that don't have kids, if they don't have kids right now, 9 times out of 10, they ain't gonna want kids in the future. Sometimes, depending. You know what I'm saying? They don't have kids for a reason. And that's the one thing that they don't look at. And then when they get into these relationships, they end up having a child with this guy, and the guy never wanted kids in the beginning. So he's, you know what I'm saying? So then it's 2 things that happen. Either he stay in a relationship and he's always gonna be mad because they got kids, and he gonna always find a reason like, I could be doing this, but I got kids, but you know what I mean? Or he gonna leave the situation. There's so many reasons on why you see so many women, they get with these guys. Like I seen it time and time again when it comes to certain women, date a guy, no kids, they get pregnant by the dude, then the dude gone. And they're like, well, what did I do? Well, that's the one thing you ain't ask him if he wanted kids. And if he ain't want kids, you need to be strapping up. And if he don't want kids, you need to be using protection. Don't be out here sleeping with everybody thinking because he, you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot to that.
But if he ain't want kids, isn't he the one that busts off in her?
I mean, but she can tell him, but she can make a choice too, though. She can make
I get what you're saying. No, I get what you're saying. I'm just saying.
Too, you know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. I hear you, but
I mean, I've come across, I don't know about y'all, but I've come across women like that. I've come across women where, you know what I'm saying, they'd be like, well, I don't want kids. I don't want a man with kids, whatever, boom, 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 boom. But they never really asked the guy questions about that. They think automatically, like, I don't know if y'all saw it. I seen this IG joint the other day, and the girl was like, he ain't got no kids. That's a win-win situation. And yet she had like a little girl in the back. So everybody was like going in on her. They was like, so it's a win-win situation, but you got a child in the joint. But yet it's a win-win because he ain't got no kids. That don't mean nothing. You know what I mean? Go ahead. What you was gonna say?
No, I was gonna say, I had 2 things. The first thing was sometimes they go into the situation where they know going in that the other person doesn't really want kids, but then they, in the back of their mind, they feel like they can change that person's mind, right? And then they in a relationship, and they 4 or 5 years in, and then the conversation comes back up again, and then now there's turmoil because this person felt deep down that they could really change that person's mind, and then it's not that, not wasted 5 years.
Yeah. What was y'all say, B?
You want to go first? Or you want me to go?
I'm gonna be long-winded. Go ahead, bro.
So I think so. Reading this again, right? Number one, you aren't on the same page when it comes to your future. I think about last week when we discussed, or episode 11 when we discussed the job issue. You know what I'm saying? When you're talking future with somebody, there should be a long list of things that you kind of talk about. Because a future means now and forevermore. Like,
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Future is forever. So, I mean, when it comes to kids, yeah, that's something you need to talk about. When it comes to jobs, I mean, I know when me and my wife together, we talked about, I give it to you something like simple as, growing up, my parents didn't buy me a car. Neither did her parents. They didn't buy us a car. So we said when we got old enough, we wanted to be able to have good credit. So we could just, when our kids were able to drive, we could go out and just buy them a car. Now, not saying that they don't have to work for it, because, you know what I'm saying, we made them work and do certain things, but in that breath, these are goals that you're trying to set for your future. Like, I want to be financially stable to be able to support my family, to be able to just go do what I want. So, I mean, I think when it comes to your future, yes, you should have those that should be communicated early on in your relationship.
I was going to say, to piggyback off of B had to come in a relationship being a father automatically. You feel what I'm saying? Like, so that changed the dynamics already. Because, when somebody already has a child, and then you got to come in and regroup and rethink and reprogram your mind to say, okay, it's no longer about me no more. It's about a family. And it's not even about, you know what I'm saying, taking on your own kids, but taking on somebody else's kid and being a role model, a father figure for that child. So that's even a big thing. And at his age at the time, that's a big step. Because how old were you?
I think it was like 22, 23.
22. So think about that. Think about you coming in somebody's life, right? And the future thing, you talking about, hey, honey, where we gonna buy a house at? Well, I need to let you know that if you come in this relationship, we're not looking. We there's some roles you're gonna have to play at a young age. At a young age, you know what I'm saying? And I think if you establish that in the very beginning, and you constantly, I think I feel like this. It depends on the age too. Because I will say this. This is the reason why I used to think about people getting married young. You know what I mean? Like, that's a good thing, but it ain't a good thing. Because at the end of the day, you're going to regret some things in life. You're going to wish that you never got so early, because now it's we and it's not I, and you ain't get to do what you wanted to do before you got married. You know what I mean? Like, you may want to go back to college. You may want to, go travel the world. You may want to just, just do some things for yourself. And then now you start regretting, like, I'm in my 30s. I ain't get to do this. I ain't get to do that now. I got to make up time and everything. So it's a lot of things that play in that factor. You know what I'm saying? When you in the beginning.
True that.
How young is young to get married? What age group we talking about?
I mean, really, when I look back over my time, that was young as heck. I think young is, I think you should be settling down around 25, 26. It's a good age. 25, 26 is a good age. Anything before that, no. I think
it's too soon.
I think so. I feel like you need to have some things in order. You need to have a career. You need to have, some type of tech support, school, something where you can take care of yourself before you come take care of somebody else. Because think about it like this. Imagine you want to go marry somebody's daughter, right? And he's telling you he's traditional, right? And you got to ask for this man's daughter hand in marriage. He's saying, look, I'm not only expecting you to be her husband, I'm expecting you to take the role of what I was doing in her life. Right. I'm expecting you to do certain things that I did for her, because now you the man. And you young, you like, dang, I ain't think about all that. You know what I mean? We don't think about that. We just think about, I'm getting married, we haven't had a kid. You ain't thinking about all the hell that you about to come through at an early age because you're not thinking straight. You see what I'm saying? You putting yourself in a crossfire of issues because you're not prepared. You're not mentally prepared for that. You think you good because you got a little car note, you got your little house, but now you inviting somebody else, and you inviting another mindset, another person with another just another being in reality. You see what I'm saying? So that's a lot in itself. So I mean, I think when we're talking to people, to young folks like that, and when they want to talk about getting married and stuff, we need to really sit them down and say, look, before you get married, you need to go to some type of counseling to learn about it. Like, don't go with your girl. Go by yourself. Go read some books. Go to some classes to learn about what it means to be there before you say I do. I think for our culture, that's what we don't do. We don't help people learn the facts of what it takes to really know what it takes to keep a marriage, to keep a relationship. And we're not teaching our kids that. We're thinking that they should automatically know because they're watching us, when in reality we may not be the best examples ourselves.
That's true, but I don't necessarily feel like there's a huge. I think you can get married under 25. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I think it boils down to what those two individuals really want, right? Like, if they want each other, if they, you know what I'm saying, if they're there for each other, the right reasons to make each other happy, you can still go through.
Then wait.
You can still, for what?
I mean, this is my thing. Why just because you want somebody, why rush it? You know what I'm saying? Won't you just take your time?
Why does it feel like a rush though? Like, if you've been with this person for, let's say, 3-4 years prior to, right? And now you 22, 23, right? And you feel like that's a step that you want to take. If y'all on the same page, if y'all communicating and y'all have had the conversations about future and household balance and stuff like that.
Okay, so look, if they decide to get married, right? Who they gonna live with if they ain't got stuff going on? Like, what's like?
I'm not saying that I'm not saying that. I'm saying you're correct, right? That you should, but
and the only reason
thinking
why
about marriage, you should have already thought about and already be on your path, your trajectory to.
And the reason why I say 25, 26 is because the average age of a person, the average age for somebody to either think about going to college or finishing college, 23, 24. 24, 25, you should be going into your career, figuring out what you want to do to financially be stable for yourself first. Right? Now, understand that I say 25, 26 to give you a little time to, you know what I mean, make your money, make your bread, stack, get a nest egg, get yourself a nest egg, get some things together, and for her to do the same thing. For her, you and both of y'all to do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to go into the relationship and now you got financial issues and now you got a baby on the way and all this stuff and you struggling and you talking about, well, nobody told me. No, that's not true, Negro. It was people around you that told you exactly what to do. You chose to do what you want to do, and that's on you. And now you expect somebody to step up. This is the thing. We expect grandparents and grandma and granddad to step up and fill in the gap. No, that's not their job. They raised you. They don't have to raise your kids.
That's true for a lot of situations, but not every situation.
It's a lot. We keep it in the buck, bro. So,
I'm keeping it a buck. I was in that situation.
And exactly. And if your sons was to come to you and say, Dad, look, I love this girl, man. I'm 21 years old. I think I can do it. Well, at the end of the day, he can do it. But do you want to see him go down a road of where, you know what I'm saying, he coming back to you 10 years later like that? You ain't, this whole time, you ain't say nothing to me. One thing I will say, is that man right there spoke the truth every time. If he ain't like it, he told the truth. Now, this is the crazy thing. Watch this. Whether somebody's living it or not, facts is facts. You feel me? That's like if there's a fire on the table, right? This nigga putting his hand in the fire, but he telling you don't put the hand in the fire. I can't be like, well, you putting your hand in the fire. No, it's a fact. Don't burn your hand, bro. Like, doesn't matter if that's a fact. So when I was going through what I was going through, this man would tell me it's not the right time, bro. Like, and you know what? I was looking at him like, who the hell are you to tell me what's not? I got a house, I got a car, I got all this stuff. And you know what I ended up going through? Hell. Hell, nigga. Because you know why? Because nobody was real enough to say, no, you know what? You just bought a house, live in your house for at least 2-3 years, get your, you know what I'm saying, save your bread, get where you got to be. Because if she love you, she not going nowhere. Right. If she truly love you, she not going nowhere. Yeah. But the thing is this, we have this mindset and this false reality. We have this idea of what we think marriage is supposed to be, how it's supposed to go, but we're not really applying morals and principles in the situation. We're just, we like, I love her, I'm gonna do it, I don't care what nobody say. And the next, when you failing, you sitting there telling everybody, man, she don't love me. Like, bro, hold on. Do you remember when we had that conversation maybe like 2 years ago, not to get married? And what your dumb tail do? You went and did it anyway like a dummy? Because we're not gonna tell them that. We're just gonna be like, I hear you, bro. Like it's gonna be all right. Stick with it. We sit there, stick with it. It's gonna be fine. God is good, nigga. I don't want to hear about God. Tell me what's going on.
But
tell me what's going on. And I'm not saying, but I'm not saying you don't want to hear about God. But you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, but those decisions and the feedback, right? That some, and so we talking about your situation right now, right? That you are getting from people and vice versa, right? Because she may have been getting the same advice
exactly
about you, right?
Exactly.
But what place was that coming from, right? Was it coming from the fact that maybe you and her weren't on the same page?
I think it was coming from the fact. I think it was coming from the fact of people going through experiences and they don't want to see the child go through the same issue. They don't want to see that kid go through the same problem and make the same mistake that they made, and that's okay. I feel like this, and this is just me. We got kids now. Some of us got kids that are grown adults. You know what I'm saying? There is a right timing to really sit down with them and really pull them aside and just talk to them, man to woman, and be honest. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to be real, because at the end of the day, we're accountable no matter what for our kids. And they right. You know what I'm saying? We're accountable. I don't want to be the parent to where I don't want to lose you as a child. You know what I'm saying? Because I say something like, well, I don't want to offend you. No, I'm going to offend you at the end of it because I love you. And then no, that's just what, but you know what though?
Shut up.
Exactly. You heard me say that last time. Shut up, Nick.
I don't have your phone.
But you know what though? I respect, now that I look at it, I respect my mother and father for that. At first, they didn't agree with my situation. But when I look back on it, were they wrong? Nah. Did they handle it a certain way? Wrong. They handled it wrong. But could it have been better? Yes. And I probably would have listened to them. But at the same time, when you want what you want, and at the end of the day, the message, it's almost like this. Joe is being a whoremonger and he's telling me don't do it. Okay. So I'm looking at him like, nigga, you're out here whoring and you're telling me don't get married. So it's like, I'm looking at him like, okay, that's an oxymoron. But at the same time, he's telling me something. That's what I was talking about, the fire thing. What I mean by he young, he doing his thing. He out there, you know what I mean? He being a young man. But for me, I'm like, I'm ready to settle down. But in my eyes, I'm like, how can you tell me something you doing the opposite? But in reality, what he was saying was facts. It wasn't like you know what I mean? It wasn't wrong. So it's like, I can't judge somebody on what they doing. If they see what they see, you know what I'm saying? If they see what they see and they're giving you facts, it's like, wrong with the facts. I'm like, you know what? Maybe he's right. Maybe I need to sit back, look at my situation. You know what I mean? That's just like your parents telling you don't do drugs and they on drugs. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're like, well, you doing it, but in reality, they know the cause that can have, because they can see it. So what I'm saying is that as parents and as people, even as friends, how many times, look, let's just be real. How many times we seen our folks go down an aisle or do something stupid with somebody? We're like, Dad, why in the heck did he just do that?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, bro. It's your that thought process has to be coming from a place of like
experience and wisdom.
No, not experience and wisdom, bro. I'm saying like it's coming from a place of you've been around these two people and these two individuals, and you see, or you feel like you see something that's not clicking with them. So you're questioning and you're like sitting back like, well, dang, why is he walking down the aisle with this chick, or is she walking down the aisle with him? Because you feel like this ain't gonna work because you've seen it, right? It could
be too soon. It could be very too soon for it to where it's like, it ain't no pitfalls. They both could be on the straight and narrow, right? They both could be doing great. But right now, it may not be the right timing. I feel like timing is everything. Timing,
they could just not be doing. They might not be straight together. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's a plethora of what you're saying. You know what I mean? Is like, but for me, it's like, I'll give you a prime example. His son was going through something, right? And he told me like, hey, look, don't mention it, don't bring it up. He going through it. You know what I'm saying?
About to do it.
Huh? No, he said to his son. No, he said to his son, like, you know, if he's at the table,
sound bite right now.
Yeah, no. He said, oh God, no. He just said he was going, but no, this is a perfect thing because you know what I'm saying. He was with his girl for a while, for a long time, and he said, you know, just when he's right here because it's sensitive for him, don't bring it up. You know what I mean? So I was like, that's cool, but I can respect that piece of it. You know what I'm saying? From a father's perspective, because some people wouldn't have did that. as a parent, like to respect his boundary and respect how he felt about it. You know what I mean? Because we've been in that situation where they were like, man, I told this dummy, you know what I mean, not to talk to her or whatever. You know what I'm saying? He could have went in as a father, but I respected that piece, and they had such a great communication where now he's doing better. You know what I'm saying? And it was probably for the better, because look where he's at now. He's doing good. He's focused. You know what I mean? He's getting himself together, and he's young. You know what I mean? So right now, focus, and he's at a place to where, look, he can go out and get married right now if he wants to. He can go do whatever he wants because he's grown. But will they be happy with that? Probably not. But at the same time, it's good that he can be like, you know what? I need to tell my son this A, B, and C because I don't want him to go down the same road that I went down. I don't want you to make any of the same mistakes that me and your mom did. Not saying that me and your mom is a mistake, but there were some bumps in the road that we could have avoided if we had just took our time. Or if we had just, you know what I mean, just like sit down, like he was saying, planning the future, looking at it. You know what I mean? It's okay to say, like, okay, if you're 19, 20, 21, hey, look, I'm not ready to get married right now, but 24 would be good for me, or 25 would be great for me. Is that cool with you? Can we plan that? You know what I mean? If that makes sense.
I understand what you're saying. My thing is just the whole, just on the age thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like there's really a age limit. Like, I feel like if you like, I'm gonna take it back. I feel like if you're like 19, 17, 18, something like that, maybe that's a little bit too young. But yeah.
So we haven't got an opinion from Jody. Are we gonna get your opinion tonight?
Oh no, I was. Hey, bro. They was going in. I was letting them just get it.
No, I get it.
To really hone in on it. I mean,
so let me refresh what this topic says. Let me refresh that,
because they didn't win in for real.
They went all the way in. So it says you aren't on the same page when it comes to your future.
All right.
Okay.
Now,
cue music.
They for real, I was really listening and really analyzing, and both of y'all are right. There can be your situations, there could be your situations, there could be so many different situations. The main basis of this is compatibility, communication, and understanding. It don't matter what. Yes, can they be too young? Of course, yes. Are they can't? But they also, just like he said, they also can be on that same page as when they're young. It don't matter. And guess what? They just have to learn. They just have to, and they have to grow. I mean, that's what it is. The way I look at it is, the whole main topic was when we talked about kids. The way I look at it is, each phase of your life, because there's different stages in your life when you go into date. Let's say it'll be different from a 20-year-old to a 40-year-old. Kids will be different to a 20-year-old than they are a 40-year-old. When you was talking about, okay, when we talk about kids and we talk about relationships and we talk about dating and we talk about all that stuff, when we talk about that, it's like, okay, I will tell you, from my opinion, it will be different if I was 20, you had a kid, compared to I was 40 and you have a kid. That makes sense? Like, you get what I'm saying? Now, my standards, and I tell people this all the time, your standards shouldn't change, but your expectations should change. I can say at 20, I don't want somebody with kids, but I can't say the same thing at 40.
That's a big difference. Yeah.
Does that make sense? I mean, do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can say at 20, I don't care what type of we all in school, we all doing this. I mean, what they doing, I mean, whatever. But I can say at 40, yeah, I care about what type of life you lived and where you come from and the environment you've been in. You get what I'm saying?
How many miles you got on that thing?
Exactly. So the standards don't change. The standards don't have to change, but your expectations have to change. Now, I always say, me and my girl, we talk about this all the time. I can say, okay, at 40, I don't expect every girl to be in shape. I just don't. I don't expect every girl to be going to the gym every single day at 40, right? But at 20, I can say that, right? I can say, I expect the female that I meet to be all in shape and this and that. I expect her to be revved up. I expect her to be going out. I expect her to be doing this. I expect her to be lively in this. But at 40, guess what? They going to work. They come home. They chill. They sitting on the couch looking at movies, right?
At a certain age, the expectations are different.
The expectations change. But the standards, your standards should not change.
Yeah, more.
Whether you, exactly, there you go. How you want the heart to be. But it really, this don't matter. It don't matter whether you are 20 to 40. If your heart is in the right place as far as marriage and everything, if you communicating right, if you doing it, it don't matter whether I marry you at 20 to 40. Now, with that being said, if you do get married young, you got to understand there are stages what's going to happen as far as stages of, you get what I'm saying, as far as stages of she might fall off, he might fall off. There might become times where, it might come times where things can get shaky. But guess what? Just like he said, that's where that grandma and that family do come into play to be that support system. Because everything is not going to be hunky-dory. That don't matter what marriage you in. I don't care if you're 20, you're 40. Everything is not going to be hunky-dory all the time. You still going to need that support system, whether you want to or not. Some don't have that support system. So then they go searching for that support system. And that's when the cheating and stuff come into play, because they go searching. Because they not getting the support that they need.
Do you feel like, okay, look, so do you this, and it can go both ways, right? You can have 2 kids that are like awesome, right? And they're about to get married. And then they don't have a support team, right? Because they don't people. But then you can have the kids that are like, they don't belong together, and they don't got a support system. But then they want people to support them, right? I'm talking about. Let's talk about the ones that, like, they're not supposed to get married. They want the family to be supportive, but the family then told them, look, take your time, do this and that. And then when you go down all this road, you expect people to be there and support you and look and get into something where you chose. Now listen. You chose to make a covenant relationship between you and God, and now you want other people to come in and fix something that they have no control over.
But who are we? Just like he said, just like bro said, who are we to go and tell them they not perfect for me?
No. Listen,
we cannot
listen. No. Let's make this clear. Let's make this clear what Solo Swang said. I never said not perfect for each other. I said to wait for the right time. Or it's gonna end it.
Sorry about that, but we still on the live. We still on the YouTube live. So,
but that's just my thing. That's just my take. I feel like we are nowhere near to tell somebody who's not meant to be from. I definitely agree with that.
Exactly.
But at the same time, I will say this. I will say this. My situation that happened, if they said to me, I love her, but you need to take your time, it would have been different versus just saying she ain't the one or what. You know what I'm saying? Say, look, let's take your time. Don't rush it. Be patient. You know what I mean? And see where it goes before you make a choice that could be detrimental for you. You know what I'm saying? And her, because this is what people don't understand. And I wanted to wait to go back live with that. When I
and that's fine. That's fine.
Because people want to say something.
Yeah, you good.
So are we back on?
Yeah.
Okay. So, we back, y'all, on IG.
Thank y'all for tuning in once again.
Where was that? Who we at? We back up? I can't see it.
So, just to refresh everybody, what we was talking about is relationship problems you should address sooner rather than later. And the first one of those relationship topics that you should address goes, you aren't on the same page when it comes to your future. So that's kind of where we at. If y'all want to chime in the comments,
we didn't went all over this subject,
kind of went over there.
But it's fine.
We got a couple
that's
more.
Good.
I'd like to touch before we get out of here tonight.
I think what you should do is, before you go to the next one, just let some people chime in the comments, because we were talking about it and it went off. It just cut off.
No doubt.
My John was delayed on mine.
Yeah,
it wasn't real time.
So I'm pretty sure people gonna want to know what we were saying.
Yeah. No, y'all
just for that little piece.
Go ahead and jump back in there and shut up.
Where is it up, bros?
I mean, we live, but it's delayed.
It is.
It's not, I mean, just a little bit. It's not, That's why it took a minute for me to get up there, because I didn't even know the joint had cut off because it was delayed.
So how long is it? Oh, well, I mean, we're on live, man. And once again, if y'all on IG, click over to live, YouTube live, for an even better experience.
Yes, sir. And now for this commercial break.
But go ahead, Solo. Finish your finish. You want to finish it or you want to wait?
Yeah, I just wanted to wait till we go because I wanted to hear the ladies' concept.
Is it live up? It is up.
Yeah,
IG's up.
Yeah. You can't see it on that.
Yeah. I can't see it on mine because I'm under.
I can't even
too. So.
Yeah, mine didn't shut down on me too, but we good.
I don't see nothing. Bruce, you ain't up.
Nah,
Don't say live right there.
Yeah.
It say live, but it should show on my phone PodcastHead live.
It should. I don't know why.
Let me look at PodcastHead.
I shut mine down and I'm loading back up.
Yeah,
maybe it's because of the
bro.
Yep. I feel you. I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying
it's live on his.
Is there people in there?
No, not yet. Probably because they probably can't see the same thing. You know, this is technology, baby. Technology.
Yeah, it's not.
Well, you can look at the phone.
I know. I'm
looking at it right now.
I see that it's up, but I don't know.
Sorry.
So look. So while we doing that, B, go ahead and read off the next joints that we were supposed to go over, like the other joints, because you said there were some other ones.
Yeah, so I really want to touch base on a couple of these other ones. We have one that there's no balance when it comes to the household. I definitely want to touch on that. I definitely want to touch on neither of you wants to bring up a lack of intimacy. And the last one is you get too comfortable with each other. So I definitely want to touch base on those three as well tonight before we close out the show.
Okay. That's what's up.
Hopefully.
So what's the first one?
So the first one that we were talking about is you aren't on the same page when it comes to your future, and just one of the references. What's the one you wanted to
touch bases on?
This is the one we're going to touch up. Y'all wanted to touch up because y'all was discussing some things before. Before we
yeah, it was some very valuable joints I was just about to go into. I guess you can look at it now because we live.
We live. We YouTube live.
Nah, I was playing.
Boy, great. Sorry for the technical difficulties, but we working it out.
Yeah, so where we at though?
So we were finishing up. You aren't on the same page when it comes to your future. That joint ain't popped up yet. I don't know what's going on with it, man.
Your wife text you?
No, she didn't text me.
Yeah, it's just got to be IG or something, bro. It's tripping. The joint on. Yeah, I'm looking at the joint say live right now. Yeah, but let's keep going, man. We still got YouTube running.
Yeah, we still got to run it. So, y'all want to finish up what y'all was saying?
Solo had a thought.
I'm good.
You good? I go to the
right,
one topic you wanted to.
So the next one is there's no balance when it comes to the household. And she kind of references to her mom and her dad and how her dad didn't kind of help with things around the house. So I mean,
her dad didn't help with things around the house.
Like she said she was growing up. Her dad didn't have a job most of the time. She remembered him having a job when she was very young. Her mom did everything. She cleaned the house. When she got home, she would clean up after her kids. And she proceeds to say, looking back, she had no idea why her dad didn't help her mom. Instead of carrying his weight, he sat back and allowed her to do everything. So, I mean, what are y'all's thoughts, on like the man's role in the household? We talked about this one time before.
One of the episodes, yeah.
And it's about like, how do you feel about like, what's a man's role at home? You know what I'm saying? Because it says, what's the balance?
Okay, and there we don't know again. The dynamic.
I was gonna say in this society, I don't even want to be mean, but who is the dad?
I mean, I'm for real. No, he's right. See, that's what I was about to say.
In this society,
I was about to say that.
We was offline talking about something, but we don't want to offend people.
It's like, yeah,
we definitely don't want to cry. Let me shut up on that,
Jesus. Sometimes, okay, we all been there where sometimes you be like, Dad, your girl, she just want to do everything. Like you can't so then as a man you just be like, you know what, you just do it, because if I do it, it ain't right, or I ain't do it the way you would do it, or sometimes that happens. But at least you could take out the trash and do that stuff. Lord Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. If you just stand at home, I mean, at least you can.
I just feel like,
I mean, are they still married? See, that's the thing. I mean, if she like it, I guess everybody's dynamic is different and they relate. So we can't be the ones that,
and like we were saying, with certain communities, somebody has to be mama, somebody has to be daddy, somebody has to be the role. That's tough. So I'm gonna go ahead and just say, like, look,
next.
Because I mean, sometimes you just don't know. But realistically, realistically though, I mean, honestly, that's trifling. He still should do something. I mean, he got to be doing something.
Well, I mean, like I said,
I'm not talking about just in the bedroom.
Say, for instance, like, I witnessed, you know what I'm saying, someone before. I'm just gonna say, my sister-in-law, she was dating a guy, and we had ended up staying with her for a little while. You know what I'm saying? And one day she came home from the store.
On YouTube. Oh my God.
One day we came home from the store. Or she came home from the store, and we was kind of in the living room chilling, and she's carrying water and stuff like that, and he don't even get up to like help her. So I jumped up and immediately helped because that's the type of person I am, and you know what I'm saying, help bring the stuff in. But I'm like, bro, this should your lady, when she pulled up, you should have been out there at the car, like, baby, go on in the house, I'll bring this in, maybe I'll help you put, you know what I'm saying, we put it away together, something like that.
So I mean, man.
What you should have did is got up, grabbed the water, and threw it at him. You sucker! Just threw it. Get up and get that water, nigga.
But I think that's what she means by sharing the duties. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got to help. You got to play your part.
Regardless of what, if you a stay-at-home dad or not, like, you got to play a part.
Exactly. I mean,
let me tell you, I'm about to be real right now. If my girl tell me I'm staying home, I swear to God, she won't come home to a dish unwashed. She'll gonna come on.
Right.
It's gonna be like lawn gonna be cut. I'm gonna be in there with
apron on.
Y'all know I'm gonna have my genuine outfit whenever she come in with my baby. Like, come on in, baby. I was worried. Lost your mind. She tell you can stay home and you ain't gotta work and you ain't doing nothing. No. Who is this thing? That's what you say. Lord Jesus, I come home. She won't come home. I do everything. Shoot, for real.
She can be like, are those my panties?
Yeah.
Why are they riding up your ass like that? Riding his cheeks.
I'm dead serious, bro. I got
a wedgie.
Hey, look, y'all know me. I'm all for, man. I'm all for the dynamic of y'all family is the dynamic of y'all family. How y'all relationship is how y'all relationship is. Now, is what you started. She can't start that because it started somewhere. That makes sense. That started somewhere. She supposed to hit that nip that in the bud from the get-go, man. Like that, there's no way. Ain't nobody just gonna just start not doing all that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you just accept it.
But and it goes back to say, like, this is saying these are things that you should address in the beginning of your relationship. Because if you get with some, like, say for instance, I'm just gonna put women on the docket right now, like, you know what I'm saying, women come into the relationship and they don't ask their man to do certain stuff, you know what I'm saying.
I'm not a mind reader. I tell my girl, I'm not a mind reader.
2, 3, 4 years down the line, you like, this blank is lazy, he don't do nothing,
and you ain't telling like, I'm not a mind reader.
Him to be this type of person,
exactly,
and he feels like that that's okay.
I'm not a mind reader.
Exactly.
I keep telling I'm not a mind reader.
Like I said, these are things that you have to address. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to address that.
You gotta say, hey, look here. When you go in, you need to hit each wall.
He's stupid.
You need to do circular motions. Now that goes into the next topic, right? The next little part about it.
We're gonna get there.
Yeah, get to the next one.
But yeah, you got. I feel like in relationships, you do have to have a balance. You know what I'm saying? Like, me and my wife, we kind of split the duties as far as like cooking. You know what I'm saying? And when we doing the clothes, I'll jump in there and wash clothes and fold clothes, or she'll do it, or I'll wash and she fold, or vice versa. You know what I'm saying? So you got to have that balance. You don't want somebody to feel overloaded with doing everything all the time. You know
I was going to say, I grew up in a household.
I'll cook your dinner too.
Is that? He's singing
get home from work.
Babyface Jones.
Yeah,
it is.
I was gonna say, I was raised in a house when we did everything as a man anyway. We did everything outside, inside. We did all the work. So it really didn't matter, if they didn't do it. We was going, especially, I don't know about y'all, but it's crazy now because when you a parent now, and you doing stuff like you start turning into your own parents. Like turn that light off. Start doing stuff. Like, you know, you raising electric. You know how much I pay for the electric right
Hey, bro, that's me all day.
I used to get mad at my dad about that.
Well, you got the lights on during the daytime.
Exactly.
All the sunlight coming in here.
The way the electric bill going up too.
You ain't lying.
I never understood that until I became an adult. Now, like, you know what? Unplug that right now. And what I hate is that they got stuff running and they're not even at the house. So that's funny, right?
Oh man,
yeah,
they're not even at the house.
Radios and fans and radio. Like, why you got all that stuff running? You ain't even in the house.
My mom still
my
like,
son, bro. He leave his TV on at night. You gotta turn that TV on.
I know, right?
I need a night light.
Man, I can't sleep with the TV on, man.
I can't either.
But I can sleep with that fan on.
Yes.
Yo,
I got that constant noise.
He's right.
Yeah.
The fan and the AC, like right now, I got the fan and AC on right now, and it's freezing. It's like 30 degrees, but it sounds good though. You ever hear if it get unplugged by accident? You sleep, you go, who turned the fan off?
You need that constant noise, man. Like that white noise type stuff.
Yeah.
You get up automatically because that joint cut off. Like, man,
that's the thing too. Like with like compromising too in a relationship on stuff like that, right? Like, cause like sometimes wife, she'll be hot or whatever. I'll be cold. You know what I'm saying? Like who wins that battle? Do you give in? You know what I'm saying?
I used to get pissed.
Do you leave the fan on?
If she cold, she could put on covers. You hot, you got to take off the covers. That's just what it is.
Y'all ever
put on covers and I take off the covers.
Y'all ever be in the car, right? And they got the window like
put something out on Instagram that we on live if they want to tune back in. My bad.
No, you good. No, I was gonna say, you ever been in the car and you got the jacket on, right? And you wind the window on, and everybody's like, it's cold in here. You're like, it's hot in here. Take your jacket off. No, I want my coat on and I want the window down.
I think whoever driving get the preference of everything.
Look, man, me and wifey go through that all the time, man. Because I be like, look, comfortable. Like you should be comfortable in your own house. For me, comfort is I can walk around in my socks and drawers and I'm not cold. You feel what I'm saying? It ain't gotta be hot either, but I shouldn't have to put on.
How do you like it? Do you like your hot
sweatshirt?
Do you like your house cold or hot?
I like it neutral, like cool, like but not cold,
comfortable,
not hot, just comfortable. You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't have to walk around the house in those sweatshirt and sweatpants and socks. Bro.
I agree 1,000%.
I go outside.
I'm
for that.
different. I mean, I can go. The house can be cold, and I still can walk around with shorts on because I like cold.
This is what I always listen.
First black man
why do it have to? Why? What are we trying? Who are we trying to prove something to by being cold? Why do it have to be cold? Like what are we trying? Who are we trying to prove?
It feel good. I mean, I like.
No,
I don't
like if you got, I agree with Rose. If you got to put on shirts and layers, what are we doing here? Like why?
Yeah,
turn the damn heat on.
My son, my youngest walk around with a dang on blanket on, talking about, Dad, it's cold in here. I'm like, it's not cold.
Look, she jumping the jaw talking about some. He likes it hot as hell.
Man,
I believe it.
I'm with. Hey, damn it,
bros. I already knew she was right because anytime you say you like it neutral, that's hot.
That's hot, bro.
Anytime somebody tell you that they don't want to be wrong, like it's not hot, nigga. It's on 95.
Look, it be too that, man.
100 degrees in it. You can cook an egg on the floor in this joint.
I don't know. I like being comfortable.
Look, he put the eggs out on the table. They cracking. He's busting.
Cold is just too irritating, man. Cold is too irritating. I'm sorry.
So I know we at the 8:50 mark, so we're going to, you know what I'm saying, we're going to cruise through the rest of these. The next thing that they say you should talk about before you you know what I'm saying, in your relationship, neither of you wants to bring up the lack of intimacy.
Gotta talk about it, man.
Let me tell you something. I don't know about y'all, but a black girl will come up and tell you quickly what you ain't doing.
Not a lot of them. No, they won't.
If you, let me tell you something. If you good at what you do, and you ain't been doing it in a while, or it's been a couple days.
Oh yeah, they'll do that. Yeah. They'll say that. But see,
you know what time it is, right?
Let's keep it realistic here. Okay. It's mainly us men. It's mainly us men most time that's not getting pleased the way we want to get pleased. Can we say that?
It depends.
I can't say that.
Both sides.
You can say that?
No, I can't say that.
So
both sides.
So is your woman that's not getting pleased?
No, you said most of the time
It's most of the time it's us men that's not getting as much pleasure as we want. It's
It
most
depends
time
on the
men
person.
complaining about that. Most time, generally speaking,
I
it's the
understand what
men
you're
that's
saying.
complaining about the
I
sex.
understand what you're saying.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
So in the beginning of all
Little
relationships, you're going like jackrabbit.
Say it again. You say it again, B.
You're going like jackrabbit.
You're going like jackrabbit.
So with that being said, you know, 7, 8, 9, 10 years down the line, you ain't jackrabbiting no more.
Say expectations,
So
right?
my question is,
You owe
How
you owe Rufus the dog.
what's supposed to be the number like a week? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah, that's a good one.
This is why
That is a great
This is why I want to be on
question.
IG with this question.
That is a great
You gotta say that for the next joint, man.
Wow.
You gotta say that
That's
because
why I
if
don't like IG. because
Yo.
I can't just put a post up right now and be like, hey, go
is
to
a
that's
great
perfect. Yeah, that's
question.
man.
We're gonna save that one
You
because
gotta
that's
say it.
gonna
We'll
go.
table it.
Why would you
We'll
do
table it?
That
We'll
is,
table it.
write
So how
that
many you gotta
down.
like?
Write that
That's
down
in the
and put
mental Rolodex.
That
That's
is a
an
great.
excellent-
or what
question.
about the situations when you know what I'm saying it's been a little bit, right? And
What's a little
look, I'm just saying,
Need some
like
time.
a few
It's
days,
been
you know
some
what I'm saying?
time.
Because we talking about how many times during the
It's been
weekend,
some time.
you know what I'm saying?
And some people
And
go
they-
months and
and-
stuff like that.
and your
You
woman
say-
can
Say it.
Your woman could just raise
somebody-
you, bro.
if we go months, if we go months,
Raise you, yeah.
if we go months, I'm killing everybody and burning the house
That
down.
time now.
If we go months, listen to what I'm
I
telling
just
y'all.
bumped you out. It wasn't.
If we go months, I'm killing everyone and burning the house down. I swear
That's
to
way
God,
too
I am.
long. That's way
That
too
is
long.
way too
No,
long.
some people
yo.
you'd be surprised. Some people go 3, 4 months. Like you know what I'm saying?
Ain't
Like,
no way
yeah,
in this
nah.
world.
Yeah, when they like
I've heard that.
70.
Nah.
I've heard, no. I've heard,
I know, right?
I've heard women be in relationships with guys that they separate and they still married or whatever, and they not messing with
They hit
nobody.
you.
But you know what I'm saying, huh?
They hit you with the it's all about the
See, but then
intellect.
you're going back.
Right.
No. Okay. Are we talking about, are we still in love? Because let me tell you, if you're still in love, if you are truly still in love,
Yeah.
Oh,
it
you
ain't
banging.
gonna be no
You
2
banging.
months.
You
That's
banging.
what I'm saying. It
You
ain't gonna 2-3 months.
You bang.
It's gonna be 2-3
Three in love.
minutes out that
Three
jump.
love,
Like,
yeah.
damn, we just stopped like 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I got a lip biscuit right now. I can't help you right now. My joint is sore. My joint is sore. Need help?
Man, we definitely want to.
Yeah,
we're going to dive into
that. You
next
said how
episode.
many times per week? Wow, that's
Yeah.
a great question.
Matter of fact, you need to do week and how many times per day.
That is a
That's it.
great.
times per
How
day?
many times per day? Well, y'all really about to get deep with this.
Yeah, because I need to hear.
Jesus.
I need to hear the
Wow.
comments. I need to know for future reference. Let me write this down.
What do we? And then what do we
Cue
consider?
cards.
I know,
what-
right?
What is healthy?
Duly
What-
noted.
What is that healthy intimacy? What is that? What do that look like? What is that?
Yeah.
The beginning.
Is that
When you're like
is that-
rabbit.
look,
When you're like rabbit.
look. No. Check this out though. But check this out. Is that throwing
much?
things in, like far as like other people? Or
See, that's what we gotta say. We
Yeah,
gotta save
that's
that.
what I'm
Save that. Save that, man. That's a great one. I cannot
What are we
have.
talking about?
No, I don't want. Look, ain't nobody else touching
No,
mine.
but then it depends on the dynamic of your relationship.
Yeah, that's true.
So we're gonna save that one.
Man,
We're
I'm
gonna
about to be.
save
I'm
that.
about to be like D. Ray Davis. Like,
We
you're
gotta
bringing
go to
another
the next.
wife.
We gotta save
I
that.
think we'll have to go over this article again.
Definitely.
Yeah, put a star
No,
next to that.
and not Sunday either. We're gonna have to do this a lot. It's gonna have to be a live one,
What's
not a
today?
virtual.
What's
Today's
today?
Thursday.
Today's
We got
Are
to-
we going again Sunday? Or
Yeah,
what?
we're gonna go
he
Sunday.
starts a
first.
new job, so I don't know about the
Oh, you
Thursday.
can't go
No,
Thursday. first?
yeah, I was like, yeah, if we can come back here,
You start a new job
another one.
when tomorrow?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, just make sure your head's clear. Don't let that be your first question.
I don't-
Good morning. What day is today? I start today, right? Today is Thursday.
Start today, right?
Well, you gotta understand, I work
Start
nights.
today, right?
You know what I'm saying? I work nights, so I got to get my
Start today,
days
right?
in order. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
So no, I'm wanting to know: are we coming back here Sunday?
No.
No.
Thursday we'll be back, but I'm just saying we want to
virtual
save that. We can go. That's choice. That's by what we
Yeah,
decide. But we need to save that for a Thursday. That question, that right there, the
We need to save it
How
for
many
period,
times
for any
per-
when we go live period
how
again.
many times per week? and per day, that should be saved for one of these ones right here.
So what is a healthy love?
What is a healthy
intimacy?
intimacy?
Intimacy.
What does healthy intimacy look like? And what is it? Like, what is it? You know?
Yeah. Inquiring minds.
Want to know.
Trying to tell you.
But
4-5 times a day.
Well, fellas,
breakfast, lunch, and dinner, snack.
It's about that time.
Yo.
Man, it's been fun. It's been real.
Yes, sir.
Like I always
bang,
say,
bang, bang.
Tell a friend to come on in and we can be friends. Every Thursday. Thriller Thursday.
Sir, appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Subscribe, like, all that.
YouTube, Instagram.
And we
Thank you.